evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. We are live again as Ubuntu channel, giving you a program we call Ubuntu Sports. And a lot of things have been happening in the world of sports. We know we have a new coach. It's confirmed. The coach is in Zambia. Everything has been signed. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the retirement of Mr. Janny Sikazwe and everything just have to do with sports here in Zambia. And to join me on set is Abia and Lawrence and Lameck. Sorry, Mr. Abia. Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Good evening, Reuben. It's a wonderful Friday. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. For the viewers, please, we are here for you. We have a lot to share with you. Please be with us. We are here at Ubuntu channel once again. Thank you.
Thanks. Good evening, Lameck. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports. It's a Friday.
Evening, Reuben, and beautiful Friday it is as we, as we lead up to Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone, to the viewers. We wish you a Merry Christmas from us as Ubuntu, and we're looking forward to break down the topics that we have today for discussion.
Great. Before we go into the topics tonight, gents, let's start with the World Cup. Messi and Argentina are the world champions. Your take, Lameck, on that?
Firstly, I would, I would like to congratulate Argentina for winning the final. Back the other show, I had predicted that Argentina were favorites to win, and they indeed won. But France put up a very good fight. They went down fighting despite losing on penalties. I think France stood a better chance of winning the match in regulation time, and then also in extra time they would have won that match had they just showed a little composure in front of goal. But we cannot take away the good work that Argentina put in. They completely shut down France in the first half, going into the halftime break with a 2-0 lead, which is no mean achievement. When you're playing defending champions, you have to be on high alert. The substitution of Di Maria, changed the whole complexion of the game. France found their feet. They allowed Rabiot to start playing. And we saw what a turnaround, and the records were broken. We saw Kylian Mbappe scoring a hat-trick, something that was done, some 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. So there's a lot about the World Cup, but a lot of people have attributed the World Cup to Messi. He's won so much, with all respect, he's won so much. But, we cannot take away the contributions of other players to the team. I think Di Maria had been very silent throughout the tournament, but in this instance, he came on and showed his experience. And this is a player that has carried Argentina on his shoulders for a long time. Look at the Copa America and other things. These are players I feel if we're going to talk about Argentina, it shouldn't be all about Messi. It should be about a collective effort that the players put in, not about one player, because, it needed effort from everyone. Everyone had to put in effort to ensure that they went home with the cup. And Messi, on his own, Messi, I think that is what is in his mind, because, a few games past, when the team was celebrating, he ran to the goalkeeper because he felt the goalkeeper had done much more than the scorer, because the goalkeeper had actually saved them from a potentially disastrous situation.
Yeah.
So I think congrats to Argentina. They did really well.
Allowed to have been a good comeback for France. Mr. Abia, last week you predicted that Argentina is going to win this tournament, and true to your word, Lionel Messi and Argentina are the world champions.
I'm really excited, and I think I'm really happy as a person and as a sports analyst. When we analyze, yes, we analyze through our minds, our thoughts, but we normally have a viewpoint somewhere, somehow. And last Friday, you and I were here live at Ubuntu, I said it to say France, if France want to defend this cup, has to end the match in the regulation time or in the extra time. And that's what they failed. I said if this tournament or this final will go to the penalties, is for Argentina. And that's what really happens. So congrats to Argentina and Lionel Messi. They put up a good fight, you know, starting with a lose to the non-knowing team, so to say, Saudi Arabia. We are not known as competitors, you know. We were underrated. The way Zambia was underrated in 2012, say we are underdogs, but there were underdogs also in this tournament. But they beat Argentina, and this is why Lionel Messi and the other players said, "You guys, let's wake up. This is FIFA World Cup. We can be knocked out. We really need this cup." And we saw what happens against Mexico, against Poland, Australia in the last 16, against Netherlands. But I really like what Messi did. You know, just the game against Croatia. Or let me start with the Netherlands. The pass that he passes through that young boy, that was brilliant. And he's shown that again in the semi-final against Croatia. The second goal that he assisted to Alvarez. Look at the dribbling. He ran the ball into the box. He looks like he was again turning to the out of 18 box and then turning again into the 18-yard box and then passes the ball to Alvarez and it resulted into a goal. And that was really a brilliant pass. This is what other professionals are failing to do. When you are in the pitch, if you have no opportunity to score, give out the ball, the other people will score. Winning a game is about a teamwork. That's what Argentina did. In the final, they did the same. A teamwork. You always achieve what you need to achieve when the team is intact, cooperative, unity. You work together as a team. You achieve together as a team. And you know, for some of players who are also known, like Kylian Mbappe and these other players, they forget about the work of a goalkeeper. And that's what really Messi showed against Netherlands. After winning, he ran through the goalkeeper, congratulated him. Nice job, my brother. Nice job. Let's continue pushing. You see that? In the final, also, he did the same. After winning, he went again through the goalkeeper. Good luck, my friend. We have achieved it. That's what really needs to happen in a football. We need to impress others, to know their job, to congratulate what they have done. Not only me because I'm famous. Anyway, I can talk a lot, but nice thing to Argentina and congrats to the whole team and the coach, Lionel Scaloni. Nice job, sir. Thank you so much. If you are watching this, here from Zambia, if your fans are listening, congratulations, a big congratulations to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to our lovely viewers. Make sure you share this broadcast to as many as possible. Tell them that Ubuntu Sports is live and the Ubuntu analysts are here to help you understand everything concerning football. Tag as many people as possible and make sure you put in your comment because we want to hear also from you what you have to say concerning Janny Sikazwe retiring. Officiating has blown his whistle for the 90 minutes in terms of officiating the match. But before we do that, Lameck, every time when there's a tournament, we always talk about Messi and Ronaldo. Messi and Ronaldo, who is the best? Does Messi winning the World Cup now give him or makes him the greatest of what times?
No, I still think for that one the debate isn't over because the debate is not over because of Messi winning the World Cup. The World Cup should not be a criteria to mark who is greater than the other. Look, Messi has had, brilliant players at his disposal throughout the years that he's been playing. So throughout the 16, 17 years that he's been playing for the national team. Look at Ronaldo, you know, Portugal. Which players did Portugal have? You know, so Ronaldo has been carrying that Portugal team on his shoulders for over 15 years. You understand? So Messi winning the World Cup for me is not criteria to say Messi is the greatest. No, he may have won, more individual accolades than Ronaldo, but for me, I think Ronaldo has broken a lot of records. He set the bar very high for other players. He's done a lot, and he's put up a lot for himself as an individual. He's a well-accomplished man. For Messi has equally done the same, but for now, I think it is huge respect to both players. For now, the debate, we can settle the debate as both players are, exceptional in their own ways. But for Messi, I feel Messi has been given a lot of credit even when he did not deserve the credit. Ronaldo has been criticized and has been fighting his way up. He has never had anything in his favor. He's had to fight his way up. Look at how Messi was given 2 Ballon d'Ors that he did not deserve, one for Iniesta, one for Lewandowski, but the voters thought Messi deserved it when he potentially did nothing throughout those seasons. Other players outperformed him, but he was given those. Even, there are other accolades that we can talk about, but for now, I feel the debate can't continue, but the fact that Messi won the World Cup is not a criteria to use to end the debate. We'll end the debate because Ronaldo is 37, Messi is somewhere 35. There's a 2-year gap. So Ronaldo has actually done a good job, because now Ronaldo is retiring. Messi still has some 2 years. 2 years is a lot of time. He can win the Champions League and maybe any other tournament that may be around. Messi can win. But for Ronaldo, we are also hearing moves that he wants to make, leaving Champions League football, leaving the top 5 leagues and all of that. So for me, I feel the debate shouldn't continue, but Messi winning the World Cup does not change anything. Ronaldo has done a lot of work, which should be appreciated and worth mentioning for a long, long time.
Great. Let me hear it from Mr. Abia. What do you think about the debate between Ronaldo and Messi? Do you think it has been settled now that Messi has won the World Cup?
Yeah. Are you getting me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we can.
All right. I think for me, the debate about who is the greatest of all time between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, it has to come to an end. Both Ronaldo and Messi were searching for a biggest trophy, which is FIFA World Cup. And fortunately, Messi has grabbed it. Ronaldo now has no chance to grab it. So I think this debate now should be over. Because why I say this? Let's look at these two. They have been the best throughout, winning UEFA Champions League, winning La Liga, winning so all sort of trophies. But look, it started with Cristiano Ronaldo winning the Euro 2016 right there, and also Messi again achieving at his country by winning Copa America. But when it comes to FIFA World Cup, the most experienced man in this FIFA World Cup is Messi. Why I'm saying so? In 2014, Messi managed to take his team to the final and just losing to Germany.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Abia. Just turn off your camera, then you continue discussion.
All right.
Yeah, can continue.
Just losing to Germany in the final. Messi was in the final and winning that golden ball. And in 2016, you see what happened. He was knocked out in round of 16. Now, 2022, again was in the final, and then is a champion now. So as for me, Messi is the greatest of all time because he has every trophy that a player should search for. Which trophy now Messi doesn't have? Everything he has. Ronaldo hasn't have a FIFA World Cup. And then look at the team that has been for Portugal. Look at Pepe. Pepe has been playing for Real Madrid for some time, and he was 39. He's 39. Look at his defending style in the FIFA World Cup. Even at the Benfica side, he was very good. Look at Joao Mario. Look at Bruno Fernandes. Look at the other guy, Joao Cancelo. He's playing for Man City. These are the superstars in the team. But what was lacking in the team was unity, cooperation. These guys were not working together. These guys were not playing as a team to achieve something. You know, just to be knocked out by an African team, Morocco, and then you say you are the best. To me, no. To me, no. A big no. Ronaldo started his cases at Manchester United. He was also given a bench there. He was making a news that he was a, you know, when a number of years are saying no to you, just accept it that now my yes can't allow me to play. Just hang up your boots. Messi, he has been phenomenal, including at PSG. But Ronaldo, you know, just because of his ego and the lack of humbleness, he failed to accept that his 37 years was really huge for him to pick up the team to the final. You know, these are tired legs, my dear colleague. Messi, Ronaldo is a tired legs. He can't do what he was doing at the age of 20, at the age of 25, at the age of 30. He can't produce that. He's old now. He's the best, yes, but he's old. He can't do any better. So I think this debate should be over, because continuing this debate is like a referee has blown for a last whistle, and then you are continuing playing. Who is going to recognize you when you are score? You see that? Let me end here.
Thank you, Mr. Abia. Our viewers, what do you think the debate between Ronaldo and Messi? Do you think now that Messi has won the World Cup, it means that he is the greatest of all times? He's better than Cristiano Ronaldo. What do you have to say? Abia said the debate is over. Messi is the greatest of all time because he's won everything in terms of trophies. Lameck has said no, it's not. The debate is not yet over because there's some statistics that Cristiano Ronaldo still has in terms of goals and all that Messi doesn't have. So the debate should not continue because of age, but the debate is not it's not over. Lameck, let's bring it home now. This week you reported something concerning Nkwazi, saying that the coach has actually resigned and has gone to join Zesco United. Just update us exactly what is really happening at high flying Nkwazi United.
Yeah, so earlier in the week, I think TC left his job at Nkwazi. No, he did not leave just last week, but some time back, he left his job at Nkwazi for a job at Zesco United. He was approached by Zesco United and took up a role as first assistant coach. He's yet to be officially unveiled, but this is what is happening on the ground. And then Nkwazi are actually in the market looking for a new head coach. We had also had Mutapa, who was being lined up to take over the reins, but along the way, contacts were made, but all didn't go well. So we have Albert Joe Mpande, who's now come up as the favorite to land the Nkwazi job. If we look back again, we look at Dennis Makinga, who was let go because of a poor start to the season, leading up to the appointment of TC. But for TC, I feel
we were told that they're sponsoring for some studies.
No, not really. I think the statement was about after after the coach being let go, what the next step would be for him. The next step for the coach would be to advance his studies, which Nkwazi in that statement should have. I wouldn't want to rewrite what they said, but it's something that is indicative that the club will support him as he undergoes that process of getting better qualifications and all of that. Not necessarily saying that he's being let go or he's being taken to school and they're leaving the role for the other coach. That isn't the case. He was let go. In short, he was fired. So after being fired, they say, okay, the roadmap for the coach maybe is to go to school, but for Nkwazi, they'll still stick by him as he undergoes that process. But during this time, if a club wants to talk to Makinga, he's an open man. He's willing to take up a new role as the head coach at a Super League club or maybe National League club. He's very open and he hasn't started any school, so he was just let go for a new role. But should Nkwazi have problems finding a new coach, we may just see Makinga coming in back again. That is, we cannot rule that out. That is another possibility. But a lot has to be done at Nkwazi. Jompa and coming in. Yeah, he may come in, but I don't feel like he'll bring a lot of change to that team. Dennis Makinga knew those boys like the back of his hand because he had them for close to 4 years while he was in charge. So a return is not something we can rule out. But for TC, it's something that he jumped on the opportunity to coach at Zesco. Zesco is a big club in as much as you leave your head coach role and go for an assistant coach role. These are coaches that have done a lot of things for themselves. A well-traveled coach like TC taking up a role is just indicative that Zesco United are trying to build, something strong for them. It work out. That is something that is for a debate for another day, but it's a 50-50 gamble. It may work out, it may not work out what Zesco is doing, but remaining at Nkwazi is something that, concluding on Nkwazi, I feel they will find their way. We have
All right. It seems Lameck has got a challenge there. Mr. Abia, the trend has continued in Zambia. The coach for Nkwazi last week just resigned, went to join Zesco United as the assistant coach. Do you think it's going to help Zesco United to pull? Because they've also started very poorly in this season, and now with the head coach in the hands of Chicken George Wandamina, do you think he's going to manage? Right. It seems also Mr. Habi has got a problem, and also Lameck seems to have a problem, but we'll continue with the program. We are yet to hear from the guys what they think about the appointment of Avram Grant as the Chipolopolo coach. He was unveiled yesterday. There were rumors that he's going to land the job, and indeed, he was spotted in when he came in on Wednesday in the country, and it was reported everywhere that Mr. Avram Grant is in the country. And true to the rumors which were going around, we saw Mr. Kamanga yesterday, the first president, introducing Mr. Avram Grant to the media, saying he's the new coach of the Chipolopolo. And today, also earlier today in the morning, we saw another press briefing. We saw Mr. Janny Sikazwe, after just coming from the 2022 FIFA World Cup, which was in Qatar, and he has also resigned. He has also said, hey, I've stopped being a referee, but I'm sure he's going to be used by FAS, maybe for trainings. We really say kudos and all the best in your future endeavors, Mr. Janny Sikazwe. But for now, we need to go on a short break, then we'll come back and continue talking about these issues, analyze exactly what is happening in terms of the Chipolopolo with now the new coach after Asanovic left in an unusual circumstance where we are hearing that he wasn't getting paid. We go on a short break, then when you come back, we'll continue with the program. We go on a short break, Director. All right, seems the break is not yet ready, but let's continue with our program and let's just dive into it. Mr. Abia, can you hear me now? Hi, Mr. Abia, can you hear me? Great. Welcome back. You are watching Ubuntu Sports, and I'm still joined by Mr. Abia, and also Lameck is still here. Lameck, we had not yet finished our conversation. I wanted to ask you, last week we were talking with Mr. Abia where we were laughing, saying that Kawe Warriors and Zesco United, it's like they just called each other and say, hey, we're asking for your coach, and we'll give you back, we'll give you our coach. We've seen a swap in terms of Mr. Chicken Luandamina taking over Zesco United from Numba Mamba, who was taken over from him at Kawe Warriors. Your thoughts over that equation?
You know, for both clubs, I may say Numba is not is not one of those old coaches. He's still he's somebody I hold very highly. I rate him highly because his football philosophy. At Zanaco, he won a trophy. He won the Super League. At Zesco United, he won the Super League. He has that methodology where he wants the team to play the ball. He doesn't want his team clearing the ball. He wants the team to play the ball, which is the Zambian style of playing football. So for Numba, he's someone that I feel deserves more credit and deserves more. I would suggest he does get maybe a CAF Pro license, so that he can apply for international jobs. Because recycling in the Zambian game is something that we have, we've had for a long time. We've recycled the same coaches. Back in the day, we had the likes of Patrick Pires and that group of coaches that are now phasing out. Now we have a new brand of coaches that are now being rotated, around the clubs. This is, the reason to such rotations for me. I feel we have not yet embraced, foreign coaches. Super League clubs have not embraced the idea of hiring foreign coaches, hiring, Europeans, or maybe a Zimbabwean coach coming to coach in the Zambian Super League, maybe a Malawian coach coming to coach in the Zambian Super League, or a Botswana coach coming to coach in the Zambian Super League. For that, we've remained very, it's something that clubs haven't really opened up to. We've had instances where Zesco appointed another, an expatriate coach, though that didn't go down too well. We have instances where, Bitcoin had a coach who almost, who almost took them to the group stages of CAF Confederations Cup. So the clubs just need to start trusting these expatriate coaches, do a thorough search before you appoint a coach, and then when you appoint, give him specific KPIs, and then continue, supporting the coach as he coaches around. And like the Zesco scenario, we all know what kind of management George Rwandamina will bring. George Rwandamina is not a coach that he's never liked young players. Okay, like that. He said in some instances he's come out to say, like mature players are easier to manage compared to the younger boys who are inexperienced, have to learn a lot. And looking at his age now, I feel at Zesco United we may see a number of young players leaving, and we'll see his signings may be those players of some age, maybe I would say maybe 28, average age of maybe his signings maybe around those ages. But if Zesco have a policy to support young players, then that may be the downfall of him, because he's always succeeded with a lot more mature players. So he may need to change his model a bit, start embracing younger players, and start trusting more of younger players. For Numba, going to Cabo Warriors, he just has one specific job: get out of the relegation zone, survive relegation, get out of that red zone, and finish in a respectable position, and they'll give him a longer contract. Numba taking up the Cabo Warriors job is, for me, I feel this is his time to prove a point that, okay, I've managed Zanaco. Zanaco is a big team. I've managed Zesco, which is a big team, and you have felt, like the fans have felt, that Zesco is bigger than Numba. This is his time. He's taken over a mid-table club. This is his time to now transform that mid-table club into a giant. Make the correct signings. Push in one or two resources in the team, and then with good coaching and all of that, Cabo Warriors may just turn fortunes around. They've always been a difficult team to beat. He may just turn their fortunes around and turn them into a top 6 contender team, which I feel is achievable by Numba standards, because I rate him very highly. He's somebody I rate very highly.
Thanks very much, Lameck, for that insight. Guys, this week we had 2 press briefings. The first one was yesterday, when we saw the unveiling of the new coach for the Chipolopolo. But I want us to start with the one which was today, concerning Mr. Janny Sikazwe, who was just retired as a center referee. I want to start with you, Mr. Abia. What do you think of Janny Sikazwe retiring as a referee?
Yeah, in my view, it has come as airy, but in the other side, I also respect his views, because I have followed what he has said today. He has said he wants to give out chance to these upcoming referees or these young ones. So I think for that reason, I need to respect him, and we need to respect his decision. It wasn't easy just to hang up boots like that. But another point he has clarified is that no other things he may need, like he has officiated in championship, he has officiated in the CAF Champions League, he has officiated in the FIFA World Cup, in the Africa Cup 5 times. He has also officiated at the Club FIFA World Cup. So what really did he want to achieve? So he has said, I need to give chance to others. So I think from that 2 points, I think, yeah, it's good for him to think about the young ones. This is another example that others are failing to do so. So I think we just need to welcome his choice. He has made it on his own, but he has also retired as a hero for Mother Zambia, because no Zambian referee or in the southern region has officiated at the FIFA Club World Cup final. Having players like Sergio Ramos and these other players, I think it was really good. We need to give him a credit there. He has done a good job. And thumbs up to you, Mr. Janny Sikazwe. You have done us proud. Zambia was really proud of you. I think your retirement will not just need you just to keep quiet, but you have to also be involved somewhere, somehow. I think this is where I can narrate. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Your thoughts, Lameck?
You know, for the Janny Sikazwe case is something that I feel he's left the stage early. One thing that I've always had, okay, for me, this is just like my personal point of view to say, when when you're given a leading role in something, when you're given a leading role in something, the time that you need to feel that, okay, I can leave this stage for somebody else, is when maybe 2 or 3 people have been groomed to a level where you are, and they can manage the stage when you've left. For me, that is my personal point of view. If I was given a leading role today, I would manage it, and then the time that I would decide to leave is when I feel that the people that are below me have the capacity to take charge of the situation and continue representing whatever organization, whatever institution, whatever country, or whatever we're doing at that particular time. So for Janny, for me, I oppose the decision that no, he's left the stage for the younger ones. Look, he himself, during the press briefing, said the younger ones need 2-3 years, 2-3 years to reach a stage where they will need they will need 2-3 years to reach a level where they can officiate the bigger games. They can reach a level where they may now be considered for the World Cup. So this 2-3 year gap, who is going to fill that gap in? Meaning that this football thing is about numbers, and I feel Janny should be in the best place to know this. Football is about numbers. Even at CAF, you need to have the numbers. How many South Africans are at CAF? You understand?
Yeah.
How many Zambians do we have at CAF, at the administrative level of CAF? You understand? Football is all about numbers. So now we don't have a referee. Yes, we have those at the panel, but we don't have somebody as highly recognized as Janny was. He talked about, no, it's not about pressure. He decided to quit before the World Cup and all those other things. Yes, I respect his decision. He feels it's the best time to quit, but I feel he should have held on until the so-called younger ones had reached a stage where, if he left the stage, we had someone to carry the Zambian flag. We needed to be sure that in the next World Cup, we have someone who carry the Zambian flag at the World Cup, at the next AFCON, because for now, we don't know if we can have a Zambian at the next AFCON in 2024. Because the so-called younger ones, in as much as they've been put there, have they been tough tested? Has CAF, are they people that have been tested by CAF and considered to say, okay, if these guys will give them matches at AFCON, can they manage the stage? You understand? That is it. Yeah. For me, that's how I think. That's how my belief system is like.
Lameck, don't you think they'll be tested when the CAF Champions League starts? Because the group stages, actually, the groups have been made. I think that's the best time to give them and try them to see if they will manage. Give them Zamalek versus the Asante Kotoko or Simba, something like that. Let's see if they will manage.
Look, Reuben, that is a gamble. That's a 50-50. You understand? In my situation, with all due respect, I respect his decision, and I support him for doing what he's done. He feels he's achieved everything achievable in a referee's career. He's officiated at the biggest stage and all of that. But in my opinion, Janny should have held on for at least 2 years. And then by that 2 years, these so-called young ones that are being brought up, that are being groomed, would have officiated those matches that you're referring to. Janny should have left the stage when those guys have passed through those tests. Understand? The guys have not yet been, exposed to the so-called north, where Janny has pressed so much to say, okay, the environment is hostile that side. Have these guys been tested that side? Not yet. Should they get tested and they break? Do we have to wait another 4 or 5 years to get another representative again? You understand? To get someone who reached that stage. So for me, I feel Janny should have held on until a stage comes when, okay, he feels now, okay, this guy has gone through the testing, he's passed the testing, so the next thing is let me leave so that this guy gets the room and gets the limelight. Unlike leaving when we basically have no one. The same way we had no team for the national team, you know,
Lameck,
the older players were
Lameck,
kicked out, the younger players were coming in inexperienced. We had no team. The team was in shambles.
Lameck,
You know, we had to rebuild
Lameck,
from the start. The under 20
the way
team, the parts on that are the people that you are now trusting.
uh,
the stage where people are still clapping. So we're still clapping for him. And for him to retire as a hero is what all we need. You know, being as a referee is not an easy thing. There's a lot of criticism
I
there.
know I know it's not an easy thing. You know, I know it's not an easy thing. He also said the same. It's not easy to, you know, achieve what he has achieved, to break the records he has broken. It's not easy to do that. But in as much as the old saying goes that you leave the stage when, you know, people are still clapping.
Yes.
For me, I don't believe in that. Look, this is not about clapping.
all right, Lameck,
Understand?
Lameck,
This is not about clapping. This is about leaving a legacy. You understand? And Zambia, that is in major stages. You know, Zambia, we need people to put us on the map, because for Zambia, Zimbabwe is already on the map. If you go, you know, to search engines, some search engines completely, you know, don't recognize Zambia. You know, some pay, you know, sorry to delve out of the topic a bit, but you know, there are a lot of other companies, you know, payment companies and all of that don't have Zambia in their system. So we need people like Janny to continue putting us on the map, the way Pats on Dakas are doing, the Mwepus are doing, to continue putting us there on the map to say, okay, there's a country called Zambia. You know, in as much as he goes to the AFCON, officiates one match, that's fine. We know that there's a Zambian at the AFCON. For me, that's my point. It's not about him continuously being active the way he's been the last few years. No, just be there. You can reduce the number of games you're officiating. If you feel like, okay, now let me just reduce as I wait for the guys to come. You understand? For me, that's my point. But I respect his decision. He feels it's the best. I may not argue with him. I don't know what he's been through or what is happening behind the scenes. So I fully support his decision. But in my opinion, I felt you could have gone a year or two to get the guys ready that are now like put under FIFA.
Lameck, but don't you think it's because of the recent instances, especially for the AFCON? Bola Inasila Kabiri, guys. Before that, then he was called to the to the World Cup. Also, we saw he was being called a lot of names, and then I think he was thinking, let me just stop this before it becomes worse. What do you think, Lameck? Don't you think that's a pressure, especially from the AFCON, where we saw him blowing the whistle before time twice?
Look, if you look at the international community, forget about the media. You know, forget about the media and the stories that are being written that were written about Janny. Look at the people that are actively doing the job. You understand? The people at FIFA, the people at CAF, the people in the associations, the players themselves. You understand? He's a man who is respected by this community. The media and a lot of us Zambians have that whirlwind where whatever the media writes is, if the media ridicules someone, then a lot of Zambians will ridicule that person just to match the hate that is being thrown at, like the hate that was thrown at Janny. CAF actually stood for Janny like big time. They supported him. They never ridiculed him. They said, okay, you are our man. You know, you have the quality. We know that you possess the quality, and whatever happened was a mistake or whatever happened, but we will stand by you and will support you. That's how he found himself at the World Cup. But here in Zambia, he's someone who, even local games, when he was officiating local games, people are even ridiculing him. Say, oh, push up for 15 minutes, push up for 5 minutes, mocking him like that. But, I've been a victim of bullying, where you are being bullied and all of that. But that is not good, because you may reach a breaking point. Some are not strong enough to, to withstand that pressure. We may not know exactly why yes, he said his reasons. He wants to leave the stage for what and all of that. But for me, the incidents may have contributed a bit. You understand? May have contributed to some of the, Okay, I'm so passionate about Zambia, about being Zambian.
Abia wants to come in. Yes, Mr. Abia.
Listen, Lameck, when you are being criticized, right? You don't know how it feels to somebody else, how it injures your heart, how it injures someone. You see that? We Zambians, we are only supporting a person when that person is doing better. You see that? When Karushawale was doing better, we said Karushawale is a great man, he's a great man. You see that? Karushawale has brought an AFCON in 2012. We say Karushawale is a good man, he's a good man. After losing in 2016, what do people say? Karushawale is collapsed. You see that? Now people are even calling Karushawale as a cadre. You see that? More criticism. But when somebody is doing bad, we can't even encourage that person to stand and continue raising the Zambian flag high. We want to be supportive when somebody is doing better. So I think for Janny Sikazwe, he wants to teach us something. When we have no representation at FIFA for the FIFA referee or at CAF as a FIFA referee, you see, we are going to remember him. To say, right now, we could have Janny Sikazwe in the officiating at AFCON. We could have now have Janny Sikazwe officiating at FIFA World Cup. That's when we are going to realize his good job. So I think for his decision, let's just respect him. We Zambians, we are let down when somebody is not doing good. Why is he ending a football 85 match, 90 match? Yes, just to come back. You listen to CAF who employed him. They said Janny Sikazwe suffered from heat stroke. He could have died in the pitch. But people still say, why didn't he give a referee to the fourth match official? You to make a decision, instant decision. It's a difficult one. So I think let's respect his decision. Yeah, he's a good man. He's a great man. He wants to teach us something. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, let's move to yesterday's press conference. We saw the president for FAZ and also the general secretary at Taj Pamozi unveiling a new coach, and we saw the Jay-Z display being done by the president and the new coach in Avram Grant. It's confirmed, it's sealed, it's Avram Grant who is the boss now. So it's not Wada Wada like Abia expected. Sorry, Mr. Abia. I'm sure Lameck is happy because from the word go, you wanted Mr. Avram Grant. Lameck, why?
So one thing you need to know about football. One thing about football is this. We have a fans perspective where we the fans give opinions, who we feel, who we are vibing, who we felt had a connection with the players, who we felt did a good job at a particular time, and all of that. You understand? That is a fan's perspective. And then there's a footballer's perspective. So a footballer's perspective comes from that sense of the man, look, this guy who's coaching me, does he know football? You understand? These players are exposed. We have players playing in Europe. They're exposed, and then they come to Zambia, and they may find maybe a local coach who may not have the exposure that the players are exposed. Maybe the players may even know a little bit more because of the advancements in the game, more than the coach. So football is about exposure. Avram Grant is a man who's been around for a long time. He's 67. But what we want is to tap into his bank of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge about the game. He's been around the biggest stages in world football. So that is what we want to tap into. And I hope that local Zambian coaches have an interest and tend to have meetings with Grant so that they learn as much as they can from the man, because he's a man who, like, that guy knows football. You understand? For me, Avram Grant knows football. And one of the players, one of the professional players actually told me about Moses Sichone, and I'm glad that Sichone has been kept as one of the assistants. Is that the players have a lot of confidence in Moses Sichone. The reason being, Moses Sichone, he used the local term, Babola. Like Moses Sichone knows football, not the football that we watch, but knowing the how players, how it is being a player, how player management and all those other aspects of coaching is not all about backing instructions. Oh, you do that. It's about knowing how to manage the players, knowing what players go through, what goes on at what stage. Those are the most important aspects of being a coach, and people like Moses Chone know those aspects and are good in those aspects. Same with Grant. Grant is also good in that aspect. He's a well-traveled man. For me, I'm glad Faz had the courage to to stick to their decision with all those fights, because in the background, there were a lot of other cases that were running in the background with people trying to fight the appointment of Grant. Others felt that a local coach would be better. Others were digging up in Avram Grant's history, trying to discredit the big man and all of that. But for me, I feel for Zambia, let's give him time. We've judged too much before we've seen the work that he can do. Let's give him time to work. Let's not even talk about Grant. Let's give him that space to do the work. Let him, develop, relations with the clubs. Let him develop relations with the local players. Let him develop relations with the senior, international based players, and then let us see what he can do for us. Because we don't want to lose to teams like Lesotho. You understand? We don't want to lose to teams like Comoros. We don't want that. And in as much as we lost one game, we still have 4 more games remaining, and we already have 1 win on our back. So let's go into this, into this appointment with open hearts. Forget about whatever you had in your heart. Open your heart up and let Grant do his job. When he fails, who X him? We'll look for someone else. But for now, let's not make his work difficult. Let's support him as he is here. And then, when time comes, if he succeeds, he succeeds. If he fails, we look for another person. There are a lot of other coaches. For me, that's my opinion.
Thanks. Let me turn to Mr. Abia. I know he's shocked. Sorry for that, Mr. Abia, but what do you have to say? It's done and dusted. Avram Grant is a coach.
Yes, indeed, it's done and dusted. Avram Grant is our coach. Welcome, Mr. Grant, to Zambia. This is a welcome remarks. And, Reuben, Lameck, we are talking about football, Zambian football here. Let's go back to 2012, where we crowned ourselves as champions in 2012. Look about the game that we had against Ivory Coast. There was this difficult man called Jevinho, who was brought down in an 18 area. And we have to concede the penalty because we don't have any choice to stop Jevinho. And here is a man, a superstar from Chelsea, stepping up to pull a penalty and just raise it over the bar. And in Zambia, we were clapping to say, yes, I think we have an opportunity to utilize. This, the same miss that Didier Drogba did. This is what Faz have done today. This is a big miss. A penalty has been missed. A penalty that could have helped us to lift the trophy. And Didier Drogba didn't lift the trophy that time. He was just watching Zambia celebrating. Christopher Katongo jumping on. This is what is going to happen. We are talking about Lesotho, not losing to Lesotho. We are going to. Look about one qualifications of Zambian football by Faz narrated in this just ended the interview. They said we need a coach who knows the type of football, of Zambian football. Did Grant know the type of Zambian football? He's going to learn it right now. Let's take him to the Ghana. Ghana had the superstars like Dede Ayew, Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, and a lot of superstars. He failed to take that team into the FIFA World Cup. The Ghana has been qualifying for the FIFA World Cup for a long time. He failed to do that. Look at what he did. The only achievement that Grant can appoint is to take Ghana to the final of AFCON in 2017 or 2015, somewhere there. That he lost to Ivory Coast, which was coached by our former coach Hevrena. But he failed to transform Ghana afterwards. This man, I'm telling you, is a failure. We have already employed him, yes, because he would take Zambia at a 0-N, where he has to know who is Pastor Daka, he has to know who is Fashion Sakala, he has to know who is these goalkeepers that are playing at yeah. So it's going to take a lot of
but let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. When you look at club coaching,
have to wind up.
Yeah. So, Mr. Abia, when you look at club coaching, coaches are appointed. Graham Potter left his Brighton role and went to a Chelsea team. You understand? Same with that Manchester United coach. He did the same. He left his role at the club, went to a team, and managed to pick results. You understand? They may not be all rosy, but he managed to pick results. For a national team, it's almost the same, because for the national team, you have more time. You may not spend a lot of time with the players, but the idea behind this, we as Zambians, we are the people that need to guide Avram Grant through how we do our things. Let him learn our culture. Where is that mentality of him being a failure coming from? Because he hasn't even held even one training session with the national team. Even with local players, he hasn't done. And here you are already calling him a failure for basically not doing anything. For him just being appointed, he's a failure. How is someone a failure just after appointment? And then when he succeeds, what are you going to say? Are you going to praise him when he succeeds? You understand? So this is what I'm saying. Just open up your heart. Just open up your heart. Give Avram Grant space. Let him breathe. Let him do his job. The day he fails to do his job, we'll fire him. If he does his job, we'll praise. And like here you are, no, he's a failure, he's a failure. Tomorrow when he does the job, what are you going to say? You understand? Are you going to come out again and say, no, he's the best? You understand? For me, that's the mentality. Let us give that guy space to do his job. The criticism and all of that will come when he starts failing. When we lose to Lesotho, we will criticize because we won't accept losing to Lesotho. But today, let's not say we're going to lose to Lesotho. This is why we're appointing Grant, for him to do the job. You understand? For me, that's how I think, and that's how I align everything I do. But for me to go Grant, a failure. Look, he's taken Chelsea to the Champions League final, Ghana to the AFCON final. What hasn't he done? You understand? He's a well-traveled man. What hasn't he done?
The man is not fit for the job. I'm telling you. We'll see this.
So look, Wadawada, the same Wadawada you guys wanted. Wadawada that a lot of people wanted. Wadawada, when the Zambia drew against Ethiopia, the articles we were reading, that was back in, is it 20, in his early games. Yeah, in his early games, when Wadawada failed to beat Lesotho in Zambia, here in Zambia, in our own soil, people ridiculed. They called Wadawada names. They said he wasn't fit for the job. The job would have been given to the expatriate coach. When Wadawada dished us and went to coach a local club, a bottom of the table club in South Africa, what did we say? You understand? We replaced him, yes, but today we want to call him back.
4 years, jobless. That means he has nothing, my dear. 4 years. 4 years. We are talking about thousands of days. Eh? Thousands of days, 2,000 or plus, jobless. If he was good, why he was not employed by some other countries like the way you are mentioning is Lesotho, Ethiopia, and these other countries? 4 years, solid years, my dear. Then Zambia to come and pick him to say, come and here and have a job. That was really a miss. This penalty has been missed. We are not going to be AFCON again. We have to wait for 2025. Believe you me. Mark my words.
We will come and talk after the Lesotho back-to-back games. We'll come and sit here and talk again and have this discussion.
Yes,
and we'll also have to see how the team will be playing.
I'll give you a congratulatory message.
All right, gents, we have to leave it at this. We have to go because time is up for us. It's a festive season, and the time we'll be back to be already would have already celebrated the Christmas. So I'll just allow you guys to give in your compliments of the season and just wish our viewers the compliments of the season. I start with you, Lameck.
To the viewers and to everyone following our page, our YouTube page, our Twitter, and all our platforms. I can only wish you the best for the festive season, and take precaution, take care as you go around the streets. People are overexcited, people are drunk around the streets. A lot of things happen, a lot of accidents and all of that. So take care. We want to see you in 2023, with love from Ubuntu Channel Zambia. And it's about taking care of yourself. No one will come and take care of you if you can't take care of yourself. So for me, my message is about taking care of oneself and then enjoying the season. You need to enjoy the season because it's a festive season. Yeah, that's my message to the viewers.
All right. Within 30 seconds, Mr. Abia.
Thank you so much. I'll start with Zambian soccer fans. We have Avram Grant. Let's welcome him, and let's watch, and let Pars prove that they are really doing their job by giving us results. But don't be frustrated when Zambia is losing. We are going back to the drawing board. That's our scenario. So let's accept it, what is on the table. Let's take it and let's support it. As for the viewers, thank you so much for being there. And I think some of you are a lot soccer fans for Argentina. We are celebrating together. Let's continue celebrating. This festive season has a lot to do. Please, let's avoid beer drinking too much. And let's avoid driving and drinking. Reuben, Lameck, if you are a driver, please don't drive and drink, okay? So let's observe our own life. Life is important. There is no supermarket where you are going to find someone selling life. No, when it has lost, it has lost. The only default thing is to find a graveyard. So please, let's avoid abnormal circumstances that may lead us into an accident. So please, let's observe ourselves. Let's respect ourselves. Let's put God first. This will help us. Our views here on Ubuntu channel are not reality views. We are just expressing our views. What is going to happen may be different. So let's respect it. Thank you so much for the viewers and all my fellow panelists, Lameck and Reuben. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful topic, a wonderful discussion, and a wonderful night. Save yourself.
Thank you, Abia. Thank you, Lameck. So this is where we end this week's Ubuntu Sports. Thank you very much for joining us. And please join us next week as we say goodbye to 2022 show that will be live at on Friday at 20:30, same time. From me, it's Merry Christmas. enjoy it responsibly, and make sure that your happiness is huge than your spending. Thank you, and bye-bye.